What is up, everybody? It's Big 12 championship scenarios time. My name is Kenny G, and you're watching KSU Nation. Look, we've got a couple things to talk about. I'm trying to type this in right here. We're talking about Big 12 scenarios in the for the championship game. And what we have right now, we're about halfway through the season. Okay. Halfway through the season. And we need to figure out who's going to get to Arlington. All right. Who is going to make it to the Big 12 championship game? And we've got a couple scenarios for you. Now, I'm going to share my screen here. And we've got this website. If it's going to show or not, add to stage. Okay, here we go. We've got this website right here, and it's called bball.notnothing.net, and then you have to select the Big 12. Now, hold on. I'm in the wrong spot here. There we go. All right, here we go. Now, what this is right now is it's giving all the rest of the games. It has right here the current records of every school right now. Currently, we've got BYU at 4-0, Cincinnati at 4-0, Arizona State 3-1, Houston is at 3-1, Texas Tech is 3-1, and then we've got 6 schools that are 2-2. Those schools include Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas, K-State, TCU, Utah, and then we've got Arizona, UCF, and Colorado at 1-3. And then the schools that have not won a Big 12 game yet are Oklahoma State and West Virginia. Now, we have a couple games that haven't been completed yet, obviously, because we're not done with the season yet. But when we look here, it has the home team right here is on the left side. The away team is on the right side here, okay? This is interesting, okay? This right now, I haven't touched anything. So if you selected, this is who you think is going to win the game, right? When you just pull up this website and you select the Big, so you select the Big 10, you could select the ACC, you could select the Big 12, the SEC. So we'll go with the Big 12. Now, the games that are selected right now are the games that are quote unquote favored, right? The teams that are selected are favored. That's what we see here. So we can assume, let's just see if now we know that there are upsets in the Big 12. We just witnessed a bunch of them last week. But let's just assume the Big 12 has 0 upsets for the rest of the time, which is never going to happen. That will never happen. But let's just assume that there will be 0 upsets, and let's see who wins, or let's see who goes to Arlington, who goes to the Big 12 championship based on winning just as the favorites. You hit the calculate standings, and you've got Texas Tech going against Utah. This is the 1 and 2. And under here, you see that Cincinnati, if I probably jump up, I can make these a little bit bigger. Cincinnati, Utah, Arizona State, they're all 7-2. Okay. Iowa State, BYU 6-3, Houston 5-4, TCU 5-4, Baylor. So we've got a whole bunch of 4 and 5 teams. And then it's showing, as of right now, West Virginia. And this is what is included. The Big 12 tiebreaker rules are included in the calculations of this. Okay. So this website is highly, highly reliable. Like I said, it's bball.notnothing.net. And you select the Big 12, and this is how you do it. So this is the situation. If all of the schools that are favorited win out. Okay. If you're a K-State fan, all right, talking to my K-State fans out there, if you're a K-State fan and K-State just happens to win every single one of its games, if K-State wins out, okay, if K-State wins out and everyone else is business as usual, calculate the standings, K-State gets to go to Arlington. So K-State has a chance to make it to Arlington if they just win out and the rest of the teams that are favorited in their games win. Okay? That puts us at 4 teams at 7-2, which is exactly what happened last year. There were 4 teams that were 7-2, I believe. And those teams would be K-State, Texas Tech, Cincinnati, Arizona State. Okay? Now, my dream, and it was my dream last season, was to have a BYU K-State Big 12 championship game. And in order for that to happen, all BYU needs to do is beat Cincinnati. If BYU beats Cincinnati or just wins one game out of the Iowa State, Texas Tech, Cincinnati games, you calculate the standings, it's BYU versus K-State. That is amazing. And that is totally doable, in my opinion. Now, here's where, if you're a K-State fan, the Doomsday happens. Okay? The Doomsday for K-State is if K-State wins out and Baylor wins out. So we'll have Baylor. Hold on. It's not just Baylor. Baylor has to win out, and Arizona State has to win out. If Arizona State, where is Arizona State? Arizona State and Baylor winning out puts Baylor and Arizona State in the Big 12 championship game. If Baylor wins out and Iowa State wins out, because they only would have, so Baylor, Iowa State, and Arizona State winning out, with the only exception of Iowa State beating Arizona State. Where's Iowa State? Okay. Then it ends up being, oh, God dang it. Hold on. Iowa State and TCU. Okay, here we go. Then it ends up being, no, gosh dang it. I'm missing something here. Iowa State. Am I missing a game here? Iowa State. I did all this earlier today. Basically, what I was saying is Arizona State, Iowa State. The point is, K-State, in order for them, they have to win out. If you're watching this and you're a K-State fan, K-State has to win out. That's the best opportunity. Oh yeah, that's right. It's the I think BYU winning. Yeah. This was the Doomsday, is like BYU, Iowa State, but it's great for BYU. It's absolutely fantastic. BYU has so many opportunities to make it to Arlington because of their huge win over Utah. So if they also beat Texas Tech, which is totally possible. The film is out now. The plan to beat Texas Tech, the way you beat Texas Tech, it's out there right now. So it's totally doable. This would be another way that K-State winning out still doesn't get them to Arlington. So BYU's got a lot of options. I mean, it's through the roof. Iowa State, they need to basically hope that K-State doesn't win out, and then they need to also win out, and then that Oh, what is it? Iowa State. Well, I guess it doesn't matter if K-State wins out or not because they have the tiebreaker over them. So currently, right now, Iowa State and Baylor are the only ones that have uh, wins over K-State in conference play. Now, with that being said, like Baylor's got a tough schedule ahead of themselves. They got to go against Utah. If they lose against Utah, I mean, let's go. Let's redo the whole thing. Okay, like I said at the beginning of the video, this is what the favorites are in each game. The favorites to win each game. If BYU just wins one game, hold on. Okay, they have to win. They technically have to win 2 games to guarantee themselves in. 2 more games gets them guaranteed in. They would be 8-1. So 8-1 is a guarantee. Guaranteed 8-1, you're in without question. Just because the amount of games that are being played right now, and yeah, there's just a huge tiebreak. What about Utah due to their win over ASU? Okay, let's check out Utah then. Okay, what does Utah need to do in order for? Okay, let's just say Utah wins out. Utah is favorited in every single game. They're favorited in every single game. And this is the games. If all the favorites just won their games, Utah doesn't make it. Oh, yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Sorry. Excuse me. They do make it. If everybody wins, I said this at the beginning. If everybody wins out, like as the favorites to their games, Utah and Texas Tech will be the Big 12 championship game. That is to say that if there are no more upsets in the Big 12, which is that's not going to happen. Let's be honest here. Then yes, Utah makes it. They hold their destiny in their hands. Okay. So yeah, Utah is still there. Now, let's say BYU beats Cincinnati. I think that's a game that they can absolutely win. And I think BYU's got Iowa State this week. I really do. If that happens, it's BYU Texas Tech. 8-1 gets you there. Period. I always want to look at this stuff through a K-State perspective because I'm a K-State fan. So if I say K-State wins out, which right now K-State is only favorited against Oklahoma State and Colorado. But if K-State wins out, they have the tiebreaker over Texas Tech. And then it says right here, with Texas Tech above Arizona, with Texas Tech above Arizona based on the record of versus common conference opponents. This is why I hate these rules. But basically, the common conference opponent, when they all played equal times, K-State would have an advantage over Arizona State, even though they never played each other. So if you're a K-State homer, this is what you want to see. The chances of K-State making it to Arlington are as follows. You just need to win out. You are an underdog in 1, 2, 3 games out of your next 5. You're an underdog. And so K-State needs to upset 3 schools. Now, I don't know. You know how it is. When you go through the week, your odds do change based on your results, right? Let's say K-State beats KU by a ton. They'll still be an underdog versus Texas Tech, and then they blow the doors off of Oklahoma State. And based on like what Utah does the next couple weeks, maybe they lose a bad game. All of a sudden, maybe K-State might be favored against Utah, right? So things change throughout the season, but at the end of the day, this is what you want to see. If you're a K-State fan, you want to win out. BYU needs to beat their 2 teams. This is my dream scenario. My dream scenario is to have BYU, K-State in the Big 12 conference championship game. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Both fan bases are extremely respectful and amazing. I'm a huge fan of BYU. Obviously, I'm a big K-State fan. You're on KSU Nation, for crying out loud. And so, yeah, this makes it great. The thing that obviously now, look, Baylor is probably going to be Arizona. That I feel like that's gonna. Let's just go here. Here's what we'll do. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to assume that K-State wins the rest of their games. Let's just say K-State goes on a rampage and wins every single one of their games. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick the games that I believe are like the teams that are actually going to win in these games. So Cincinnati, Baylor. Okay, first of all, Houston versus Arizona State. Wow, what a game. They're at Arizona State. Does Arizona State have a huge hangover? I don't know. I don't know if Houston is that good. Plus Arizona State's defense, we just witnessed it against Texas Tech. I have Arizona State beating Houston here. And we're going to go over our picks, later this week, Stevie B and I. Cincinnati and Baylor. At Cincinnati, I think that is a winnable game for Cincinnati, but Baylor's coming off of a loss against TCU. Oh man, I you know what? I think Cincinnati takes this game against Baylor, moving Baylor to 3 losses, and that basically knocks them out of contention right there. Right, this week is everything for Baylor. If Baylor doesn't win this week, they're done. They're absolutely done for the year. They can't make it to Arlington. 3 losses loses you a chance against Arlington. So right now, Arizona, UCF, and Colorado, they're out of Big 12 championship contention, as well as obviously Oklahoma State and Virginia. I don't think Oklahoma State and West Virginia are going to win a single game unless West Virginia plays Oklahoma State. Then obviously one of those teams is going to win. But doesn't look like it. Yeah. So there could very well be 2 teams in the Big 12 that are 0-9 in conference play, which does increase the chances of lots of tiebreakers, right? That gives you more games to win. Iowa State versus BYU. I'm really down on Iowa State right now. I think their injuries are too big. I think BYU takes this win. I have K-State beating Kansas. Texas Tech is obviously going to smoke Oklahoma State. Utah versus Colorado. Yikes. After the Holy War, they're pretty down. I don't know what to do here. It's at Utah. I'm pretty sure the fans are going to show up. I got Utah winning. West Virginia and TCU. Yeah, I think TCU just takes on West Virginia pretty easily. Baylor versus UCF. Baylor wins this game. Colorado versus Arizona. Actually, I think I might take Arizona here. Just because I think their defense is a lot better. Okay. Houston versus West Virginia. That's probably an easy win. Iowa State versus Arizona State. Interesting game. Iowa State's got some really good home games coming. Let's go with let's go this would be a crazy. I think Iowa State wins, actually. I think Arizona State might be a little banged up here. Playing Texas Tech, then playing Houston at home, and then they gotta hit the road before they go on their bye week. They might be looking ahead to that bye week. I think Iowa State might sneak a win off of Arizona here. It's a sneaky game. It's a sneaky game. Kansas versus Oklahoma State. That's a no-brainer. I have K-State winning every game, so they would win here. And then Utah, Cincinnati. Wow, what a huge game this would be. Let's just say for the sake of saying, let's throw Cincinnati here with the win. I want to see what happens to this with the standings after I have Cincinnati winning. Is Kansas good? I can't tell. Honestly, I don't know either. I mean, they had a shootout against Cincinnati, lost that game. They They had a little bit of fight in them with Texas Tech, but honestly, I think Texas Tech was probably a little disrespectful to KU. I don't think that they believe that they were good at all. And also they had didn't they have their backup quarterback in there for a little bit? Started seeing the signs of maybe he's not the guy. Anyway, I don't want to get off track here. UCF versus Houston. They got UCF winning at home. No way. I think Houston wins here. Arizona versus Kansas. I could see KU winning this actually. TCU, Iowa State. TCU wins that one. Texas Tech versus BYU. God, man. Yeah, this is going to be a big game for Texas Tech. If Texas Tech, if they lose to K-State, they're going to come back. They're going to want to beat BYU. I think there's going to be a lot of energy there. Arizona State over West Virginia. Sure, I'll take that. Baylor, Utah with the upset in Baylor. I could see that. Baylor's defense is not very good. But honestly, Utah's offense isn't the craziest thing either. Maybe I take Baylor here at home. Do I take Baylor at home against Utah? That's man, that could be crazy. I think this would be a huge set. Arizona over Cincinnati. I think that would be a big upset right there. I'm just going to call it now. There's always going to be some huge upset every week, usually. Baylor versus Arizona. Arizona's at home. UCF over Oklahoma State. Sure, got that. I think BYU beats Cincinnati. Arizona State beating Colorado. I could see that. Houston and TCU. Oof. I think TCU will probably beat Houston, honestly. Iowa State beating Kansas. It's at Ames, so I do like KU in Iowa State because if this was flipped, if Iowa State was going to KU, I think they lose. And then these two, obviously. And then we've got last week, Arizona State versus Arizona. I think Arizona State is just better. Baylor versus Houston. You know what? Do I put Houston here over Baylor? Man. It's at home. It's senior night. Baylor wins. I got it. BYU over UCF. That's a no-brainer. Kansas versus Utah. Utah wins easily. K-State beats Colorado. Iowa State over Oklahoma State. They're not going to win a game. TCU and Cincinnati. Ooh, I do have TCU over Cincinnati. I think that'd be a really good game. All right, let's calculate the standings now. Let's see what happens. Okay. According to my picks, this would be the standings. Let's start at the bottom. If the games played out the way that I just picked them, right? We screenshot this right now. We see all the games that I just picked. We calculate the standings. This is who's going to Arlington. We got Oklahoma State with 0 wins. That'll be the first time, probably. I don't even know if this is true or not, but probably the first time in college history that they lost 9 games 2 years in a row in conference play. West Virginia would be 0-9. Okay. UCF would have 2 wins. Colorado would have 2 wins. Kansas would have 4 wins. Utah would have 4 wins. Arizona would have 4. Isn't that crazy? Utah having 4 wins. Didn't they have that last year? Didn't Utah only have 4 wins last year in conference play? Unreal. Or was it 3 wins? I can't even remember. I can't remember. Arizona with 4 wins. Houston, Baylor, Iowa State, 5-4. I think that's pretty good. Cincinnati, TCU with 6-3. I think that those two teams are actually really comparable if you think about it. I could, 6-win team in conference play, 6 wins. And then up here, the top 4. Now, obviously, I'm obviously biased, guys. I'm obviously extremely, extremely biased. You came to KSU Nation. You're watching me talk about K-State and then the Big 12 in general. But isn't this interesting? Because K-State with the win over Texas Tech and the record versus common conference opponents, they are ahead of Arizona State, despite the fact that they didn't play each other, but they would have the same record, and Arizona State would have a better non-con, so they would have more total wins because they only lost one non-con, whereas K-State lost two. But that's why non-conference games don't even really matter in the context of getting to the Big 12 championship game and obviously getting to the playoff. So BYU with 8-1, K-State, Arizona State, Texas Tech, all at 7-2, but K-State would have the upper hand according to the Big 12 tiebreaker rules. And it's all in here. All of it's right here. Again, guys, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Just to go over once again, the link to this is if you just go to Google, type in B-ball, B as in boy, bball.notnothing.net. It'll bring you to a page that is like this. Let me zoom out a little bit. It'll look very similar to this, and then you'll have men's basketball, women's basketball, and then football, and then you just basically go to the Power 4 tab here, and you pick the conference that you want, and you'll have all the conferences scenarios. So you could do this with not just the Big 12, but you could also do this with the Big 10, the ACC, and SEC. It's a lot of fun. It has built into it the tiebreaker rules and everything built into it. Okay, we got some comments here. Burke Family 54. It's Stevie B. I think West Virginia and Oklahoma State are the only teams technically eliminated, but I think UCF is out as well. I mean, maybe I don't know for sure, but I mean, I don't know. I just think if you have 3 losses, I guarantee you probably don't make it. I mean, I could probably figure it out. Oh yeah, search MRed Big 12. I guess that would be another way of getting to this website. So K-State wants BYU to win to knock down the tiebreakers, essentially. Yes, I mean, the thing is, if BYU doesn't win, K-State still has a road to the Big 12 championship game. So if K-State wins out, right? If K-State wins all of their games, and then all the favorites of the other games win out. Here, let me hide this. Put this one up. If K-State wins all of their games and then the favorites of all the other games win, then you calculate the standings and it's K-State versus Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game, based off the tiebreaker rules. I mean, look, you're basically saying that K-State winning out every single week and then there not being any upsets for the rest of the season, then that's how K-State makes it to Arlington. I don't believe there's going to be 0 upsets. But if I want the dream scenario, BYU just needs to win. I think it was not just one, but both of their games, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, they just need it was either that or they just need to beat Cincinnati. Yeah. BYU just needs to win either in Iowa State or Cincinnati. I mean, that's just like, okay, so BYU can lose to Texas Tech, and was there another game that they could lose? No. I mean, that would be it. They could lose to Texas Tech and still make it in by just beating the other 3 games that they have. Do I have BYU losing another game somewhere? Oh yeah. So sorry. the other 2 games. So they could lose 2 games and still make it in, which is amazing, right? I mean, that's the cushion that BYU has made for themselves. Let's see here. I feel like Oklahoma State is going to shock someone one of these weeks. I don't think so. I mean, they CR Grand. Yeah, look, Oklahoma State is done. They don't have a head coach. All of their players are redshirted. They redshirted themselves. They're already in the portal. They're already ready to leave. I mean, they've got somewhere around like 50 players that are just done. They're not like they're 50 starters that are leaving. So I mean, look, there's a chance, obviously. I mean, there's a crazy, like, crazy world where something wild could happen and they could win a game. But the likelihood of that happening is I cannot see it. That will probably shock K-State. Man, that would be a heartbreaker. If K-State goes on to beat KU, Texas Tech, and then lose to Oklahoma State, that'll be this, and then win against Utah and win against. If they win every game except for Oklahoma State, I would lose my mind. Be the craziest K-State thing to ever happen. I'm not saying anything. Good team like a UCF or something. Okay, well, I get what you're saying. UCF, do they play? Well, let's look at Oklahoma State's games here, okay? Oklahoma State's going against Texas Tech. They lose that game. KU against Oklahoma State. Pretty sure KU beats them. I mean, there could be a chance, right? There could always be a chance there, but I just can't. If I'm looking at it, UCF, Oklahoma State, right here. It's at the bounce house, though. I mean, I guess if it was like downpouring, maybe Oklahoma State might be able to, create some craziness. I don't know. That is so beyond like fathomable. I can't even talk. So anyway, look, that's the scenarios. I wanted to make this video. Look, we're halfway through the season. It's always fun to kind of speculate the Big 12 championship scenarios, especially with all the chaos that happened last weekend. Really opened the door for a lot of these 2-2 teams currently in the Big 12, and we all know that the chaos isn't going to stop. It's going to continue. So buckle up, everybody. Buckle up. It's going to be a fun ride. I had a lot of fun making this video. If you guys had a lot of fun, please do yourself a favor and subscribe to the channel so that way you don't miss another one of these cool videos when we go live. I mean, these videos are a lot of fun to make, and I'm sure they're even more fun to watch and to speculate. And also, look, we love interacting with the community. We've got a lot of people watching, so we'll always highlight your comments if it's appropriate and respectful. Anyway, my name is Kenny G. My co-host Stevie B is not here, but you can catch us later this week when we go over K-State versus KU in the Sunflower Showdown. Please do not drop this game, K-State. This would be the 17th year if they win 17 years in a row with a K-State victory. Let's keep the tradition alive. Let's keep the streak alive. And with that being said, go Big 12 and go Cats. Beat KU.